Hey, welcome into a return show here. Packer Outright Opinions. We were gone for a couple weeks. Sorry about that. Lots happening. Ben's been busy working. He's working 2 jobs and he's working wacky hours and he had to do other stuff. And then I've been super busy, so we couldn't get to it, but that's okay. Volleyball season's now over, so that helps me out. Yeah. So, but I don't know you. You still got stuff.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Well,
I know I got to work tomorrow, so I can't watch the game, and then I got to work next Sunday. I can't watch. Or no, then I'm going to the Nerd Con to dress up like Brendan Fraser and the Mummy.
Nice. There you go.
I don't really want to, but my wife's making me do it. So, well, she told me I can't get a picture with Brendan Fraser unless I dress up like him.
Oh, he's going to be there? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. Well, I don't know these things. Like you asked, talk to me like I knew this stuff. How am I supposed to know that?
Talk to everybody like they know it.
Brendan Fraser. Wow.
Okay. We talk the truth around here, and everybody should know it.
Okay, that's fair. Hey, David. Hi.
David changed his name.
Hey, from Mississippi Effers. Good to see you, David. Hope you're doing well. I'm not even sure what big college games are on tonight, but like this was the only time we could get together to do a show. So I was like, what the hell? Yeah. And I know the World Series, because of a stupid wall issue, is continuing on. But I'm Team Canada, as you can tell. Let's go Blue Jays. Knock those piece of garbage Dodgers down with their fat contracts and big payroll and all that, taking the Brewers out the way they did. Let's go Blue Jays. Come on.
I didn't even know the World Series was still going on. I do not care.
Still going on. Shouldn't be.
Shouldn't
be. A ball got trapped under the wall cushioning last night, which then made it a ground rule double, and then the guys from the Blue Jays couldn't score because of that. And then or not enough of them, and then they ended up losing the game 3-1. So what do you do? What do you do when you should have, I don't know. What do you call that when the ball gets caught in there? Remember all the Ivy times in Chicago where as soon as the ball goes in there, they put their hands up and ground rule double.
Yeah, that way they didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to work.
I know. This one
is like a lot of kids nowadays. They don't like working.
This one was a weird cushioning thing. So your site took my last name away. What?
It's not our site. It's Yahoo.
Must be YouTube. Converting.
Yeah,
trying to cover up IDs here so we're not all exposed, but we're exposed as Hafley Rose. We got a lot to talk about. The Packers had a big win over the Steelers. It was the charged up. Let's get right into it, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
All we heard leading up to it, Aaron Rodgers revenge game. It's the Rodgers game and all this stuff. And then big letdown, right? From Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. Thoughts on that?
Well, I mean,
on the Rodgers.
He wanted his kicker to get a bunch of field goals. That's must be what it is. Because that happened. No, I mean, it's nothing new. We know what happens to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
If you get him down by a score and a half, by 2 scores in the third quarter, it's over. He won't come back. He never does. Because he knows to come back, he's got to take chances. And if he takes chances, guess what? He might throw a pick. Can't have that. So he only throws it when the guy's open or to the sideline or whatever. And we know that. So we end up kicking the crap out of him. It's fine. The guy fumbled at one time and we got the ball on the fumble.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
He had also got his late kind of cheap touchdown. So helped his numbers. His numbers look a little better at the,
And there was that one touchdown that I don't know. I don't get it. The guy catches it and then what? Doesn't even have for like a second, and Carrington Valentine knocks it out and they still call it a touchdown. I was like, no, that's not a touchdown.
I don't know. Apparently
what happened to the Calvin Johnson rule where Calvin Johnson
they changed it.
There's a ball and then he touches the ground with it and then leaves it there and there's not a touchdown.
Remember one of Aaron Rodgers' touchdowns, Jordy Nelson? Remember that one that was like so fast they got knocked out within a millisecond of him catching it and they counted it as a touchdown?
Yeah, because it's Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson.
I don't think Jordy Nelson had anything to do with that call, but
no, you're right, he didn't. But there's still Cheats McGeets, and that's the the Packers. We got a lot of Cheats McGeets calls for us. especially against teams like the Lions and the Bears for years and years.
Yep. Not in the big games though. Not in the big games.
No.
All right. So yeah, it was a big letdown. Of course, hyped up all week long. Rodgers.
I wouldn't say it was a letdown.
Yeah, wait, come on. They didn't play well. They had the lead. The Packers played like garbage because Matt LaFleur being dumb and forgetting that Tucker Kraft is really good and you need to get in the football, which we'll get into as well.
He remembered eventually. And Tucker Kraft had a drop on third down, which was really bad.
Yeah,
hit him right in the damn hands.
I know. But
should have caught that.
I know. I get it. He dropped one. He had one drop. I get it. It's a bad drop, but at the same time, you still got to go to that guy over and over again. He's too good. We'll talk about that. Anyway, Matt LaFleur, I wonder who told him that. Anyway, the Steelers got the late touchdown. They had him up. They were up by 9 points at halftime. Come on. And Aaron Rodgers came out for a nice 3-and-out right after halftime. 9 points and the ball in the second half.
Well, I will say this about Aaron. A lot of what happened with Aaron Rodgers was he was scared to death of where Micah Parsons was.
Yeah, I know.
Whenever Micah Parsons beat the crap out of the guy in front of him, Rodgers just ran forward into a sack to Rashawn Gary or somebody. Rashawn Gary didn't do shit, but he got 2 sacks this game somehow because Rodgers just ran into him because he wasn't even paying attention to him. He was just like, where's Micah Parsons? Oh, crap, he beat his guy. I'm going to just run forward. Oh, Gary. Oh, sack. Happened a bunch of times because he was dumb.
Yeah, that's
true.
Like,
he was just worried about Micah Parsons the whole time. And that's great for us. But it just shows that he's old, man. He's not worried. And as far as Jordan Love goes, I'll just say one thing positive.
Mm-hmm.
His ability to back up and get out of sacks, it's once again, now he's getting sacked 10 times this year, which is more than usual. But in that particular game, he avoided a bunch again by jumping backwards, throwing off his back foot. Now, it wasn't a great pass a lot of times, or it was throwaway or whatever it was, or dump off or whatever, but he still did a good job. The pass to Emmanuel Wilson over the middle at one time, and then Wilson broke a couple tackles, got a first down. That was awesome. Mm-hmm. The one that Tucker Kraft, where it just chucked up in the air, and Tucker Kraft kind of had offensive pass interference. They didn't call, and then ran for a million yards.
I was grabbing him before
and rumbled over guys.
I get that, but that guy was grabbing him.
I know, but I mean, when Jordan Love threw that ball,
yeah, right,
the guy was like 3 inches from his face. Like,
yep,
that was a dumb pass. He got lucky that Kraft was the only one. Like, luckily that the guy who was covering him, 25, is a moron and didn't even look for the ball. But still, I'm just saying positively, the difference between Love and Rodgers was that Love, there's a guy 3 inches from his face and he's trying to make a play. Rodgers, Micah Parsons is kind of in his vicinity and he starts freaking out and just puts the ball down and runs forward and gets sacked. So that was the big difference, I think, between the two quarterbacks. Not necessarily Jordan Love's great throws, because he didn't have great throws. Like one. He had one great throw.
Other than that, not so much. After a while.
But, right. Well, not just smart decisions, but just he was cool in the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He was not afraid of the pressure. He trusted his guys in front of him. And there was some really good pass protection by the guys in the front of him for the most part. So I'll give him that. I'll give Love that. And I'll say that's one of the main reasons why the Packers won was because Rodgers was afraid of Micah Parsons. And on multiple occasions in the second half, when drives stalled, there was a sack or something, or he threw it away because he thought somebody was going to be getting into him. And it was Micah Parsons, and he was like, and then he just freaked out. So that was good news for the Pack.
And you're right. Rashawn Gary, his 2 sacks came because he did absolutely nothing, like getting upfield, and then Rodgers runs forward, and he's like, I just turn this way and run over here because I couldn't get past my guy anyway, and then I get a sack, and then I'm great.
That's the Kenny Clark sack. That's the famous. Now Rashawn Gary has become the Kenny Clark. He's going to get some sacks that he doesn't deserve, and people are going to say he's good when he's really not that good. Awesome.
Good guy, though.
David, don't get me started. We're not going to talk about Love yet, David.
We'll get there. Anyway, you're right about Love.
I could complete 20 freaking screen passes too, David.
But Ben, what you just said is the difference, right? Yeah. Aaron Rodgers too scared to put it up and give his guys a chance. Jordan Love gives his guys a chance. Hey, why not? Give him a chance. The guys were making plays. Like, if you throw it to the right guy, they're going to make a play. Romeo will go up and get it. Tucker will figure out a way to get it. Even Christian Watson will find a way to trap it and come inside, let it drop into him when the guy's right there and makes a dumb move. I mean, It doesn't matter. You got to give him a chance, though, right? You have to. And at least he does that.
Yeah.
At least he does that.
Hey,
We'll go over a couple
passes.
we'll go over a couple concerning numbers or weird numbers about, the 20 completions and da. But yeah, I mean, look, I text you during the game, like, you got to give Love some love after this game. I know you're still going to say some stuff, but he did pretty damn good. And
Yakety yak. Don't talk back. That's my quote.
Got the ball to his guys.
Yakety,
and like you said, he avoided a bunch of sacks and got the ball out.
I said one positive thing. He avoided sacks. And he
got the ball
afraid
out
of the rush like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes. That's right. And got the ball out.
I totally think that's a good thing sometimes.
All right. So
when Matt throws a pick six because he's stupid and they're in their own 20 and he throws a pick six because he's dumb. Because he does that too. He didn't do
he's only got 2 picks this year.
Yeah, they're both pick sixes.
Is that true? I don't know. I gotta look.
No, one is.
Okay, well, I looked that up. Anyway, so interesting, they go down and score right away. And they go to Tucker Kraft, right? Because he's good.
Yep.
And then they decide, we're going to run Josh Jacobs and we're going to throw this little dinky pass to Matthew Golden. And we're going to, forget about this other stuff that actually works. And then we're not going to do anything the rest of the first half. Okay. So at halftime, somebody talked to Matt LaFleur. We don't know who it was.
We don't
know. But they might. But then they're like, hey, remember that guy 85 who had a monster game when we threw the ball more, and who also is a captain on the team, which we should address that too, which is pretty cool.
I did not know that.
I know, but it shows you, right? So then they decided to throw it to him and just get it to him and just get it in his hands. Like, just get it to him and let him work. Because anytime you throw Tucker Kraft the ball, it's almost always, even if it's behind the line of scrimmage, it's almost always going to result in a first down.
Or at least positive yards.
For sure, positive yards. But his average yards after the catch for his career will show you that if you throw it to him, it's almost always going to be a first down.
It's insane.
Yeah.
He's honestly the most insane player. If I could think, what he is he's like, I can remember one time we played touch football or flag football, I think we played tackle. We actually played tackle football. It was like you and me and Eckes and somebody else. And I was playing against Eckes. And at this point, this is when I lost a bunch of weight. I was about 155 pounds. So you're talking 5'11 and a half, 155 pounds. Not exactly a very strong person. Let's just say that. Eckes, 5'10 and a half, 5'11, and he was about 220 at the time and ripped like a monster. And I tried tackling him, and he just dragged me for like 20 yards. And I just kept hanging on, and I couldn't bring him down until finally you came and smacked him, and then we both tackled him because it was like in the snow or something. Actually, I don't think it was even in the snow. I think it was just in the grass because I was filthy. Anyways.
It's in the weeds.
What I'm saying is this. The Steelers did not tackle very well. Mm-hmm. They didn't even try or even want to for the most of the time. And Tucker Kraft is just like a big giant freaking. It's like you when you're playing with your nephews or something, or like, you know what I mean? It's crazy. These little guys try to just bounce off him. He stiffs arm like this a guy. He freaking runs over a guy. I mean,
I was impressed with how fast he was. Like on that second touchdown, how did he get past? He's running up the middle, and two guys had angles on him, and he ran right past them.
Well, that was one of the passes in stride. Now it was a 5-yard pass, but that's fine. We'll give it to him, I guess.
Any yard pass to Tucker Kraft is good. That's what Matt LaFleur should know and understand. Any yard pass, even a negative yard pass behind the line of scrimmage, that's a forward pass to Tucker Kraft is good. Because Tucker Kraft will almost always get you a first down. He's going to do something with it. He's not going to fall down. He's not going to catch it and, run out of bounds. He's going to do something with the ball. So please get him the ball, especially when your offense isn't it was so dumb. I mean, it was so evident too. Like, how do you not figure it out? We get this guy the ball. We have good drives. We're productive. We move the ball down the field. We score. We don't get him the ball. We forget about him. Oh, now we struggle.
He had 131 yards after the catch.
Crazy.
After the catch.
20.4 yards per reception in this game, which is, for a tight end, that's bonkers.
He's the best freaking player on the team on offense, period. And we said it last year.
Mm-hmm.
I said it when they drafted him. I said, this is the guy I'm excited about. This is the guy who can be a complete tight end. We haven't had a complete tight end since, I don't even know, Mark Chmura, sort of. But this guy's way better than Mark Chmura.
Yeah, right.
I mean, way better.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft is way, way better. He's like a running back who's he's a 6'5" running back.
Right.
That's what he is. It's a monster. He's a monster. And it's great. It's great to have him. And I just want to say a couple more things. We used to do segments and stuff, and we're kind of thrown on, but my silent but deadly type players this week.
Oh, okay.
Is a guy who I've talked a little smack about this year, and I'm just going to say some nice things. Malik Heath. Malik Heath deserves playing time. Period. End of story. Especially when you watch the difference between Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden's blocking compared to Malik Heath and Christian Watson's blocking. Holy shit. It's like night and day. A lot of those yards after catch for Tucker Kraft and other guys, by the way, and Savion Williams touchdown and everything else is Chris Brooks, Malik Heath, and Christian Watson blocking on the outside. Those three guys had great games blocking, getting in guys' way so that there was a lot of yards after catch for Savion Williams and Tucker Kraft and whoever else got, and Emmanuel Wilson. Also, Emmanuel Wilson did a good job in the second half running the ball, which
get to him
in the game too. But I'm just saying, as far as guys that a lot of times get the talk down upon, or they're like, "Oh, this guy, I don't even like this."
Why is he on the team?
Right. This week, I watched Andy Herman and Justice Mosqueda, and they're like, "Oh, well, when Jaden Reed comes back, I mean, Malik Heath probably isn't going to even be on the roster. Like, he might not even make it on the roster." And I'm like, I would rather have Malik Heath on the field than half those guys, especially in the red zone, because his ability to block and he can still catch. He had 3 catches in this game.
Yep.
He's good. He's 6'2", and he's like 210 pounds or 220 pounds, somewhere in there, 212, somewhere in there. And that's a big dude. And then Christian Watson, 6'4", 215 pounds, blocking on the outside against little corners. It made a huge difference. So shout out to Malik Heath for a great silent but deadly performance in this game.
Yeah, I like that. And he is one of the guys too that and he's a consistent performer. You always know what you're going to get from him. Yes. Is he going to make a big play after he catches it? No, but that's okay. Like, he's a possession guy who can get position and fend off defenders to make tough catches and does all the blocking and does all the dirty work and is always in the right spot and is always working hard. And that was the other thing I was going to bring up about Christian Watson. Yes, he had 4 catches, 80 some yards in this game, but his blocking was a difference maker in this game. Yeah. Like you said, I mean, impressive. And that is one big value of him being back to go along with his deep threat speed, even though they're, not going to be that productive with shots down the field to him. His blocking he's definitely like the second best blocker from the wide out position on the team behind Malik Heath. That's it. So I wanted to go through some other Packer standouts, but I wanted to finish on Tucker Kraft before we move on from him. So again, there was a lot of stuff said after about how many targets Tucker Kraft has had, and he's had some bigger target games, but then he's had some games where he only had, he had 2 catches in the first game. One of them was a touchdown early in the game, and then they forgot about him. He had 5 targets that game, but like some of those were like throwaways or whatever, garbage targets, stuff like that. So they're not featuring him, and they don't have to feature him in some cases, right? Like in some cases, just have him be the outlet, right? Because he's perfect for outlet, like have him chip and then go in the flat. He's great at it.
Yes, but he's also good downfield.
I know he is.
The bottom line is just get him the damn ball.
Okay.
We lost against Cleveland because they didn't give him the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how we lost the game. He had like 1 catch for like nothing. It's like dumb.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing, I think having Christian Watson back does open up the middle of the field because Watson's taking guys down. People are afraid of his speed. And that, it's the same thing when Kraft had the big play when Musgrave kind of went in front of him and then he came behind one of the week 3 or 4 or whatever it is. And I'm not saying Tucker Kraft is like amazing. Like, he's not like a go-to guy like Jerry Rice or something crazy like that. But he develops things for everybody else. Because once he starts doing stuff, then the other team has to worry about it. Then you can take shots downfield because the safety's got to worry about him. Okay,
Yeah,
go
and
ahead.
people are talking. David's talking about team is developing. We could trade some guys, and everybody's talking about getting a veteran cornerback, and we'll talk about that too. Anyway, finishing on Tucker Kraft. Here's Matt LaFleur after the game. Of course, everybody was wondering why did you forget about him in the first half, and where's he been in some of these games? And then finally, it was evident. And we'll talk about the thing that's annoying after this as well. But I want you to just, take this in here from Matt LaFleur because, it's. Listen to what he says.
Do you feel like you're starting to figure out some things as far as identity or what you do well on offense? And you feel okay about building a passing game where your tight end is a really, really big part of it?
We'd be crazy not to. He was a beast. He was a man possessed.
He also went on to say, you got to find ways to get him the ball. Well, okay.
What? Yeah, but what? Why does he have to wait till now to see it and say it?
I don't know.
When two idiots like us have been saying it for fucking 2 years.
Well, and that was the other thing that came up after the game. Jordan Love was asked about him, yeah, it's so great to see everybody else see what Tuck can do, what we see him do in practice all the time, and blah, blah, blah. And Matt LaFleur, I'm like, well, you guys see it all the time. Why don't you know it to use it in the game? What is happening?
It's the same as the Aaron Jones problem when Mike McCarthy was there, where every fan on earth was like, can we get the ball to Aaron Jones? Good things happen when Aaron Jones touches the ball, and Mike McCarthy wouldn't do it. And then finally, Matt LaFleur is like, hey, give the ball to Aaron Jones. And then, holy crap, he kicks the crap out of everybody. I don't understand how these they have to, it's almost like Goody with his drafts, right? Mm-hmm. When guys fall right to him, and he still is smarter than everybody else, so he takes Jordan Morgan, or he takes, Josh Myers instead of Humphrey, and all. You know what I'm saying? He'll do the I'm smart. Well, I know more than that guy does. No,
I know something nobody else knows.
If this guy is consensus across the board better than that guy, take him.
Yep.
If this guy is a playmaker, and everybody sees that whenever he touches the ball, he makes plays, get him the damn ball.
I mean, how do you think he was voted in as captain?
I don't know. I didn't even know.
All these guys saw it. His leadership, he cared about it. He was one of the vocal guys that stepped up when the team was lacking leadership, right? And he was finally a starter last year after the only reason he got the start was because Musgrave got hurt because they were still trying to squeeze Musgrave in early on, right? Oh, we know all of that. But then they're talking about how they see it. Oh, yeah, we can see, everybody sees what he can do all the time in practice and the coaches and and now we're just glad everyone else can see it on the field. What are you doing? If you see that all the time, what are you doing as the coaching staff? And this is kind of the transition, okay? The Musgrave Kraft thing, we've talked about it. Musgrave was Goody's guy, right? That was Goody's pick 100%. Yep. I don't know.
It's the scouts pick.
Yep. Somebody was like, you got to get this guy too. And Goody did what he does in other times when he's not sure, right? Where he'll draft multiple guys at the position because he doesn't know how many are going to pan out or who's going to be better and blah, blah, blah.
No, it's because one is the physical freak that he wants to become a superstar, and the other one is the actual football player. Because he's a freaking moron.
That's fair. That's fair. But anyway, so that's a decision that came up by injury, and then Tucker got the chance, and then he just never looked back, right? And the team was like, oh shit, I guess we can't. I mean, the coaches are like, we got to keep playing this guy. He's too good. He's too good. Musgrave can only do certain things. He's got to be the guy. Now he's basically on the field on every snap, every play, right? Which is awesome.
You can do everything. Why would he not be?
I get it. So the other thing I was thinking about in this process, right, is just think of another guy who was a standout in this game. You mentioned him before, Emmanuel Wilson, right?
Yep.
Emmanuel Wilson, so Josh Jacobs runs per carry or average per carry was terrible in this game. I can't remember what it was exactly.
Terrible all year because he's not good. I don't know how many times I got to say it.
It's really bad. And I understand the blocking was not great at times, but he also just ran into stuff.
He doesn't have vision.
That's
just
true.
Doesn't have vision.
And Chris Collinsworth on the broadcast said multiple times, you can't underscore or you cannot underestimate what Wilson has done. He's put a charge into this team and this offense in the second half. So Emmanuel Wilson, 11 carries for 61 yards, 3 catches for 26 yards, Emmanuel Wilson in this game. And just think about who he is, right? a cast-off guy. They picked up off the practice squad. They kept drafting running backs to replace him. If Lloyd doesn't get hurt, is he even on the roster? If
because
you know
they're
what
dumb.
I mean? Yeah. And
I do.
Look at how good he is. He just
the saddest part,
he's just productive, right? He's just productive.
Yeah. It's the same thing we see every year with all this stuff. Oh yeah, I got one. Rasul Douglas and Alexander. We give Jair Alexander this huge ass contract, even though he doesn't deserve it. And now it's proven so much more than ever. Not only does he not get activated 2 games in a row with the Ravens, our buddy Raider Rick just sent a text a little while ago saying he got traded to the Eagles for a loaf of bread. Why? Why does anybody want him? He's not even good.
I don't know.
Same thing with Evan Williams and frickin' Bullard.
Yeah.
Evan Williams is a better player. Same thing with guys like, and I'm going to say it because somebody just said earlier about trading Inigbare. I got to tell you something. Every time Inigbare's on the field, he makes fucking plays.
Exactly.
Why is he not out there? Sit Gary's ass down or trade Gary or get him the fuck out of town so we can see Inigbare because he makes plays every time he's on the field.
You're so bad tonight.
I don't give a crap. I'm so it's empowering to watch guys like Kraft get to play, Evan and Wilson get to play, and CV Valentine play over Hobbs, even though Hobbs is the big contract guy, because those guys are producing, and the coaches are saying, I don't care, Goody, you screwed up again. We're gonna have to play the guy who's actually better than the guy who you think is going to be a superstar because he isn't. He isn't going to be a superstar. He never should have been drafted that high because he never had the talent. That goes for Musgrave. That goes for Hobbs and his big contract. That goes for frickin' Bullard, who's okay. But Evan Williams is better.
Mm-hmm.
We all know it.
Yeah.
The other thing that's stupid, so they switched off Evan Williams and Bullard in the game when they played a 3-4 defense. So when McDuffie was on the field,
Okay.
In the first quarter and the third quarter, they played Evan Williams at safety in a 3-4 defense. And then the fourth quarter in the second quarter, they played Bullard. However, when the opposing at the end of the game, when the Steelers were in the red zone in the fourth quarter, they took Bullard out and they put Evan Williams in because they were like, no, sorry, we got to play the good one if they're in the red zone. So that's all I can say. And I understand. Yeah, Barr's contract's up after this year, and Gary's got a huge contract. We can't trade. I know. It's hyperbole. Well, it possibly can't never happen. But that's all I'm saying is
there's no one that's untradeable.
Yes, there is.
I don't know.
You could. Gary's got a big fat
I get
salary.
it. And that's why Jair was on the team as long as he was and all that sort of stuff. And we'll talk about him a little bit too. But I just think Inigbare was one of my other standout guys. I mean, just think about it. Like, I know Micah Parsons was causing disruption for Aaron Rodgers for a little while, but he wasn't in the first half too much. That's why they were successful. Warren was doing great, and Rodgers kept getting the ball to him, and he was chewing up yards and all that stuff. And so really, nothing was happening. Nobody was making plays. Nobody was making tackles for a loss. Nobody was trying to, slowing them down and stopping them. And then Inigbare finally gets on the field, and in one series, he kills the series.
The whole series was destroyed by him. It was awesome.
Yeah. And I'm just like, give me more of that guy. He just, like you said, he just makes plays. I don't care that he's not the fastest and he's not the biggest and he was drafted in the 5th round and he's on the last year of his rookie deal and he's probably not going to be on the team. I don't care. He makes plays. Get him on the field.
Do you want to win games?
The Ravens do now. That's why they made their decision.
Right. It's that simple. It's the same thing with Micah Hyde.
Yep.
Way back when. The guy just makes plays. I don't care if he's a safety or a freaking corner or a nickelback, or I don't give a shit. Get him on the damn field. Same thing. I don't care how you get Inigbare out there. Get him out there. And thank God Devontae Wyatt's back. He was out there running around making plays. Jeff Hafley in his press conference said something that was so cool.
Yep.
They asked him about Wyatt, and he was like, yeah, Wyatt's awesome. But you know what's really awesome is when he's downfield chasing a wide receiver and getting a late hit on the guy, or hitting him at the end. And he's like, he's moving fast down the field, getting into where the ball's going. And I'm like, wow, Kenny Clark never did that. Kenny Clark was too slow to even get freaking 5 yards away from where he started in the play when it was 10 seconds later. And here we got Devontae Wyatt racing all over the goddamn place. Now, then he gets super tired and has to come out for 5 plays because he's got a really bad freaking, we all know that.
I don't know. He looked to be better conditioned. I don't know what happened. Maybe the time off, he was working on his conditioning because he seemed to keep the juice up for a while and stay out there, which was good.
Oh, that's good.
Another guy you mentioned was Carrington Valentine. Big plays in this game, right? Big plays.
Touchdown saving breakup to DK Metcalf was awesome.
Freaking one-on-one and a perfect, the Rodgers throw it up to the big receiver on the outside. That's hard as hell. And he just didn't give up on it. He's like, nope.
He was aware.
Mm-hmm.
Like he knew he couldn't break
true.
the pass up before it got there. So he watched the ball come in. He watched Metcalf catch it. And then he said, nope, and knocked it out. Because he knew he wasn't big enough to get over the top of him and try to knock it down.
Mm-hmm.
Wait till it touches his hands and then pull one arm out. That's legal. You can do that. But you can't grab him before that. But he waited and he did a great job. It was awesome.
Yeah.
He did it again later and they freaking didn't give it to him because they gave him the touchdown. But hey, CV is a little crazy.
He is.
Right? And he says a lot of weird stuff. He laughs all the time.
Do you see that video with him and Bo Melton?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. Like
hilarious.
he just laughs at everything. Stuff's not even funny. He's laughing all the time. So he's got to be a great guy to hang out with, right? Like every joke is the funniest thing ever. It's like Eckes. Eckes and remember, what was that guy? Eckes created Lauterbach.
Brady. Oh, Lauterbach.
And Brady. Yeah. He created all these guys because Eckes would just laugh constantly. Nobody else knew anything about him. And then he just show up and Eckes just laugh at everything he says. And then, everybody thinks he's funny because Eckes laughs at everything. So CV is like the Eckes. That's two Eckeses in one show.
True. But Valentine was a 7th round pick and he got to play because Jair was hurt and then he played pretty well. And they were like, oh, okay, he got something going here. And then, he was the guy that they felt comfortable trading Rasul Douglas for because they felt he was going to play. Then what did they do? They go try to replace him. They do whatever. And then he's back down and not playing. And, here he is, gets his chance and he performs. And Jeff Hafley talked about how he practiced. Like if you're not watching all the Jeff Hafley interviews, like press conferences, you should just go watch him and listen to him. He's awesome. The way he talks about football, the way he's honest and talks to the media about stuff, talks about his players, the insight he gives, and just kind of his overall demeanor and personality it's just awesome to be around. I can understand why all these players rave about him that get to play under that guy.
He's one of the main reasons why I can still be a Packer fan because I at least know he's there. And now that I've seen like guys like Tucker, like all the guys we've mentioned already get playing time and we know they deserve play. We've been talking about it for weeks and it's great to see those guys get playing time. Now, will this continue? That's the question. And if it doesn't and they start losing, we will bring it up and we'll show it to everybody and we'll talk about it because that's what we've been talking about before this happens. But
that's the question.
Guys who can make plays in the game.
That's the question I have for you. I'm sorry to interrupt. That's the question I have for you because you're leading me right into it. Is that to me, it feels like, so Jeff Hafley talked about it, right? He talked about Hobbs, and of course he's got to lift up everybody and he knows that there might be injuries and Nate Hobbs might have to play again and he might have to be good. So he wants everybody to feel good about themselves. He wants to support all the players. But he said, we were just looking at it and CV was practicing so well and we put him in there and he did good. And so we left him in there. Like, that makes sense to me. That makes sense to pretty much anybody with a brain who wants to win a football game. The guy's doing good. Leave him in there. Why would you take him out? So, but that it had me thinking about, because we know how this goes. And even Rasul Douglas talked about it way back when we remember the famous thing about him, Kevin King coming back from injury. And then all of a sudden he sat, he went with like the 4th string guys and Matt LaFleur said the thing to him, like, you want to play or what? And he's like, yeah, I want to play, but I know how the league works. I know how the league works. This guy was a high draft pick or this guy's a big money guy. You guys bit me off the scrap heap. Like, they get to play again. I'm back on the bench, even though I was playing awesome. And Matt LaFleur said, that's not how we do it here. Well, sometimes it is how you do it here, but now I wonder if Jeff Hafley has said, not on the defense. This is not what we're doing anymore. Like, I'm taking charge here. Carrington Valentine's playing good. He's in. This guy's playing good. He's in. I'm hoping that continues for Jeff Hafley and the way these guys get in there. I'm hoping that he continues to show that and just play the best guys. But I'm curious. Like, obviously that's a tricky thing to do as a coach of any kind, whether you're head coach or your position coach or you're the coordinator, to kind of buck the GM and the guys that he forecasted to be your starters and your stars and go against them, even though those guys are healthy, and put somebody else in there. But I feel like they're taking more charge of that because ultimately they're like, these guys are better at playing football, so we're going to play them. Do you think that's happening? or you think it's still kind of, you're not sure?
I got to see it for more than 1 week.
Okay.
If they come out in the next week and Valentine's starting and playing, then that's great. And Tucker Kraft is still in there all the time, and they're actually throwing the ball. And Emmanuel Wilson gets a chance to play and gets more than just 2 or 3 freaking carries a game, and he actually gets freaking 7 carries, and actually give Josh Jacobs a break, because it could probably help Josh Jacobs too.
Mm-hmm.
If all that happens, then I'll believe it. But as of now, it's one game that's like that.
Emmanuel Wilson had 11 carries in this game. Jacobs had 13.
That's the way it should be.
That's a great distribution, yeah.
Especially when Jacobs isn't doing jack squat in the first half.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk. I already know I'm a jerk, so I don't care. I don't think
have to
Josh
try.
Jacobs
Is that what you're saying?
that good. I don't think he's that good. I never did. Ever since I got him, I was like, he's not good. He's not great. His most exciting play is a 15-yard run where he had to break 4 tackles to get 15 yards because he can't read the hole where the hole is. You know,
he had a long of 6 yards.
He had a touchdown in this game where because the play didn't get blocked right, he just ran outside and did good. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give him that. And he beat the guys to the corner. I don't know how because he's not that fast, but somehow he did. I'll give it to him. But when it comes to playmakers, you know, I don't know. And plus his pass protection, garbage. He had one good pass protection in this game. I'll give him that. There's one where him and Sean Ryan actually switched. There was like a stunt. And Josh Jacobs actually jumped forward and to get shoulder to shoulder with Sean Ryan. So then when the guys did the stunt, Jacobs actually beat the snot out of the guy and knocked the defensive lineman over. And then he picked up the blitz on the stunt. So that was a great pass protection there.
Damn, nice. There you go.
And then there was another time later where he comes back and he comes forward to pick up the linebacker on the blitz. And instead of squaring up to get him, he turns his body sideways and the guy just runs right past him. And I'm like, what are you doing? Watch some Aaron Jones video. Aaron Jones knows how to freaking pick up the blitz. He's been doing it amazing for years. He's great at it. Well, how can Josh Jacobs suck so bad at freaking that? I don't get it. Anyways.
Look, I mean, he's been durable. He does run through some contact. He can break some tackles. I'll give him that. But is he flashy? Most of the time, no. Can he beat guys? Most of the time, no. But like you said, he had that outside play. He figured it out. But wasn't that the one that Watson like just crashed down and like destroyed the safety? Yeah, that's what opened it up for him. That was awesome. Yeah, by Watson. Holy crap, that was crazy.
Watson had a good game. Like
he was,
like an all around good game. He was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to see him back. I think he helps the offense like greatly. And maybe that was a good move by Goody to sign him for a 1-year extension.
All right, so we talked about a lot of the standouts. There's one more standout, then we're going to talk about a couple of more concerning, troubling things, which actually ties into a couple of comments here from JJ and stuff. The other standout in this game, I mean, we'll give Quay Walker a standout. 5 tackles, 2 passes defended, and 1 keeping his cool.
Yeah.
Very big.
DK Metcalf stuck his finger in his face and he didn't punch him back. So
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. And then the other big standout for me, Daniel Whelan, who just continues to
he's always good. Yeah.
Freaking 50.7 yards average in this game and one inside the 20. He's so insane. He's so good.
Do you want to get into the whole Brandon McManus discussion here where he's missing field goals? And
I don't, because they still got the other guy. They're going to
that's the same thing, but it's the same thing we're talking about. Here's the guy who's making the money to the big contract, and here's the guy who came in and has the record for the Packers for the longest field goal of all time.
It's so crazy. That guy's got the longest.
So why the hell are we like, if this is the team that wants to win, you play the guy who's hot until he sucks. And you tell the other guy, listen, you're not feeling it. You're coming off an injury. We're going to go with the other guy until he starts thinking.
Just have him be on IR or something like that. So you keep him around.
I don't even know. Just keep them both.
However,
I don't care.
However, you got to do it, I guess, or you say he's injured or something, so you're not hurting his pride. But then you, just in case you need him like later in the season, or the other guy all of a sudden kind of falls apart. Although I don't know that I get it. Kickers are weird. It's hard. It's hard, right?
That guy could make a 61-yard field goal and then he could miss a 35-yarder. Easy.
Right.
So
all of a sudden he could suck. We don't know. I mean, he was like a high school teacher before, and then he got on the Packers thing, and then now has the the record field goal for a franchise that's been around over 100 years. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. I don't know. If McManus is still struggling though, I think then you got to say, well, he's not quite right physically, and so we gotta go with the other guy. Here's a couple of things. So JJ brought this up before about how he really wished the Packers had drafted a defensive tackle in the first round instead of Matthew Golden. Matthew Golden in this game, Ben, 3 catches for 4 yards.
Oh my God, really?
3 catches for 4 yards. Yes.
What a difference maker. Number 22 overall.
Wow.
Amazing draft pick by Goody when there was, what was that? An impressive at all-time draft at defensive tackle this year. And what did we do? Trade away Kenny Clark. And what do we have? Devontae Wyatt is going to be on his whatever franchise tag next year. And we got Colby Wooden and Carl Brooks, who are both in their 3rd year, so they only got 1 more year of contract. And then they got nobody else.
Yeah.
We all said it. That's what we all said we wanted. Corner or D tackle?
I mean, it's just he always does the perplexing thing in the first round for whatever reason. Luke Musgrave, 1 catch for 5 yards in this game.
Oh, Musgrave, he shouldn't even be on the field.
I know.
He can't block anybody. He doesn't run routes. He falls down as soon as he catches it, if he even does catch it. Like, he can't even catch the ball and turn. Like, Tucker Kraft catches the ball, turns around, stiffs arm a guy, jumps a guy, freaking punches a guy in the face, and runs for 20 more yards. Musgrave catches it and then trips over his own feet and falls on his face. It's ridiculous. How was that guy drafted in the 2nd round? Because he ran fast one time in a straight line. That's why.
Yeah.
Even though he got hurt and he only played 1.5 his senior year or his junior year, whatever, the year before they drafted him. And then at the combine, he ran really fast. So Goody's like, oh, he's really tall and he's really fast in a straight line. So he must be great. Freaking stupid. How does that guy a GM of a team?
I don't know, but I mean, he does have good hands. He usually catches the ball pretty well. I'll give him that. It's just that he can't do anything.
It doesn't look natural though. He has a hard time finding it in the air. I remember him falling backwards. Remember one ball was thrown up to him and he was like,
he has very bad body control, but he
also
he does have good hands. He does have
Tucker Kraft on that wounded duck from Love was able to stop, adjust, shove a guy, then catch it because it was underthrown. Musgrave would have been like, oh, where's the ball? And then fell down. And the ball would have just fell next to him. That's what would have happened if it was Musgrave on that play.
I get it. I don't know what to tell you. I think it's remarkable that this team is as successful as it is when its GM is as bad as at as high picks as he is.
Yeah.
It has so many misses in the early rounds.
It's honestly crazy to think that these guys that he takes, none of them are any good. Like none of them. It's not even like Elton Jenkins. Not that great.
He's average.
He's not that great.
Yeah, he's average.
And that's your calling card? Jordan Love? The Packers had over 240 yards after the catch in this game. And everybody's saying how great Jordan Love is.
I get it. He did, but he got the ball out.
And this isn't like passes like Aaron Rodgers where he's throwing like back in the day when he would throw to Greg Jennings perfectly or James Jones perfectly in stride and they catch it and run for a 40-yard touchdown because it was a perfect 25-yard pass, almost like a handoff, and he just caught it and ran another 15 for the touchdown. That's not what these passes were that were the yards after the catch. These were dump offs. These were screens. These were wounded ducks. These were a bunch of crappy throws or easy throws that guys just broke a bunch of tackles because the Steelers defense is crap. That's it. And we can't count on playing the crappy Steelers defense every week. And people are like, Steelers have a bunch of all-stars on their team. They do, but they don't know how to play together.
They blitzed like crazy and left a lot of holes open in the middle. So
there's one play they showed. I could not believe my eyes. I can't remember. I think it was JT O'Sullivan on the quarterback school. I watched his video about Jordan Love. He was saying a bunch of great things about Jordan Love, and that's fine, whatever. But he showed one play where they had the safety lined up deep, right? To show, and then they had the corners like a little bit down further. And right when the ball snapped, the safety who was deep ran over to the flat, and then the safety who was in the flat on the other side of the field ran back to where that other safety was. And then Jordan Love just threw it to where they vacated or whatever, and it was a big freaking play to Tucker Kraft for a whole bunch of yards. And it was like, I think it was the one where Christian Watson came in front of him and kind of helped the guy, and then Kraft caught it, and then Watson helped block from behind where like Patrick Queen was going to catch him, but then Watson kind of did like one of those.
Smart.
Yep. Very good play by Christian Watson, and then Tucker Kraft ran for another 20-some yards. It was that play, and for some dumb reason, the free safety like was up here, and then he dropped down here, and then the guy that was where Tucker Kraft caught the ball just went back to cover where he was and left a big gaping hole, and then Patrick Queen had to go over there. And I was just like, that's the dumbest defense I've ever seen. You just made a guy run his ass 12 yards deep for no reason, and the guy was already there. And you vacated a zone, and the guy caught it. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. The Steelers, they were doing some dumb stuff.
And that's the other thing about Quay Walker is one of the few times Aaron Rodgers tried to throw it down the middle, he ran with it was either a slot receiver, a little slower receiver, or it was the tight end, and he was right there stride for stride and knocked the ball away. So he's been playing well. I don't know if it's well enough to get the contract that they'll probably give him, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm glad like, he's grown, and he plays hard too. Give him that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so does Rashawn Gary. It seemed like there was about, in the second half there was a point where I think Edrin Cooper made like 2 or 3 plays in a row and stopped the drive. Then we talked about the Inigbari one where he made 2 or 3 plays in a row. It seemed like everybody, like Quay Walker made a couple plays here and there that kind of helped stop a drive. It seemed like everybody had a drive where they kind of, in the second half there, kind of messed stuff up for the Steelers. And, that's awesome. Because it's showing that they're playing fast and they're trusting what they see. They're able to read it and then just go. They're not questioning it. They're doing probably their job and then also seeing what's in front of them and then making a play. And that's good coaching by Hafley, but it's also the players trusting in what's going on around them, which is helping the Packers do pretty good. And they're not like superstar guys. Well, Edrin Cooper's got the speed and stuff, but like Quay Walker is still we're still hoping that he's good, but we don't really know. And we got to figure it out because his contract's up after this year. So what's going to happen? I don't know.
Edrin Cooper was pretty quiet for most of the first half, and then did show up a couple times. He only had like 4 tackles in the whole game. I still don't know quite what's going on with him. I haven't gone back and I haven't been able to go back and analyze the defense and see what his role is or what he's doing. Is he getting caught up on blocks or what's happening? But the guy with his speed and in his position, I would expect him to be able to make more plays than that. But it was pretty interesting to see kind of like just what you talked about, like all those different guys stepping up in different spots. However, is there anything else you want to talk about? Because there's one other big question I have and thing I wanted to bring up before we head out.
No, I think we hit everything. I just going to say yakety yak. I just don't. That's my biggest thing was.
Yeah.
All I'm hearing all week from reporters, from the national media. Like after the game, I was looking for where's the Tucker Kraft? I want to hear people talk about Tucker Kraft, and all I saw was Chris Simpson. 27 videos people talking about how great Jordan Love is, and then like a couple people talking about Tucker Kraft. McAfee had like 10 minutes about how good Tucker Kraft is, and Chris Sims had finally on Wednesday had a section about the best tight ends in the NFL, and he said Tucker Kraft is in the top tier of tight ends, and that was about it. Otherwise, everybody's talking about how great Jordan Love is because he had 300-some yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Oh, he must be good, even though there was 240 yards after the catch. And that's all I'm saying. Yakety yak. Yards after the catch.
I got
that. That was it. I'm not saying Love isn't good. I'm just saying this was a total offense team effort. Yeah. Love got the ball to the guys. They made plays. Malik Heath, Christian Watson did great blocking downfield so Tucker Kraft could rumble and stumble and get some extra yards on a couple plays. And that was the difference. Everybody on the team on offense had a role, and they played pretty good, except for I would say Golden. And Romeo Doubs blocked like dog crap on a couple plays I saw for sure, where he just totally whiffed on guys. And then one time, I think Josh Jacobs got his ass kicked because Romeo was supposed to block and he just didn't do nothing. But yeah, that's all I would say. Other than Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden, I would say everybody else, including the offensive line, had a really good game. Zach Tom got in trouble a couple times. I think he got holding called on him once, but he did pretty good against TJ Watt. And the other guys on the line did great. They picked up a couple blitzes. They're doing some good stunt pickups, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I just hate it when the quarterback gets all the freaking glory because he's the damn quarterback. 360 yards. This is an anomaly for him.
Mhm.
Usually Jordan Love is under 200 yards passing in games.
Right. And this, the other thing is that you're, I think, probably contributing to this for you and for most people is that he's still, if he has a bad game, then,
It's
it's
never
everybody
his
else's. And then he's not, let's be clear, he's not the one saying that. His coach.
No,
is
his coaches. Yes.
left and right.
It's like whenever there's a bad game, it's guys are dropping balls. He's not getting protected right. Blah, blah, freaking blah.
Yeah.
And then when he has like an amazing game like this, for 300 some yards, it's Jordan Love had an amazing game. He's so great.
Yeah.
When really it's a whole lot of yards after the catch and a lot of blocking downfield and a lot of everybody doing their job to a very, very high level, which is why they played great. Everybody, all the guys, not just one guy.
Right. And the thing I don't like, to be honest, about the comments by some of the people after Tucker Crafts does this again, was he just shows you when he gets opportunities, he always does this. But the commentary was, well, he had a big day, he had himself a day, and he was a beast, a man possessed out there, blah blah. This is who he always is.
Like when he gets the ball, he does that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who he is.
People are dumb. People are dumb, dude.
I know. And
even the own head coach is dumb. If he honestly thinks, well, that'd be dumb not to. It'd be pretty
crazy
stupid
not
give him the
to
ball.
use him.
He's playing like a beast. And I was like, well, he always does that. You should have been giving him the ball this whole time.
Yeah.
Why are you so stupid, Matt LaFleur?
We don't know about that.
Please have Jeff Hafley as the head coach. Goodbye, Matt LaFleur. No, we can't do that.
So we don't know if Matthew Golden's going to be used that much, but clearly they can't use him on these quick bubble screens and all that stuff.
What happens when Jaden Reed comes back?
3 catches for 4 yards. I mean, look at this, dude. You know Watson's going to get time. Romeo still has value. He still can catch the ball over the middle. He's still got good hands. You still need to see him out
guy.
there.
He's your possession guy.
So you got Christian Watson now back in there. You got Romeo in there. Malik Heath is valuable in so many ways.
His value,
talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you watch the game, if you watch the All-22,
mm-hmm.
Malik Heath was a difference maker in this game. Nobody will talk about it. Nobody will see it on the TV screen when you watch the game for too much. But when he's on the field, good things happen almost every time because he's doing his job. And that's all you can ask for. So what are we going to do? Where's Dontavian Wicks fit in? When Jaden Reed comes back, where does Matthew Golden go? You got Savion Williams will get his token freaking screen pass every
They
game.
always work in plays for him. Yeah, a couple plays a game. Got to be to him.
What? Why did we draft this guy in the first round?
I don't know.
It was so dumb.
Yeah, that's what everybody's wondering.
But everybody was so excited. Oh, we drafted a receiver in the first round, everybody. When the Packers never do this, they finally did it. Except they drafted a guy who's probably a second-round talent in the first round, the number 22 pick. Not too smart. Not because he's not a good guy, and
mm-hmm.
He's got good hands.
Yep, he does.
But he's like 5'9" and 170 pounds. He's like a tiny little man.
That's what
first round pick.
That's why they have to. I mean, again, I don't know when Wicks is back. Obviously, some of these guys are going to move on. Obviously, after this year, so it's not. You're going to use him in the future.
Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks are under contract for next year. Malik Heath and Romeo Doubs are the only two guys right now in that wide receiver room who don't have contracts for next year.
You should have those guys on your team.
They're
I don't know what they're going to do. Anyway, if Golden is first round pick, he's on the team for at least 4 years, maybe 5. You got to figure out a better way to use him. Maybe he can be more of a guy that sits down in windows in the middle, possession guy. I don't know.
He's supposed to be fast. Why wasn't he going downfield?
I don't know. Because Watson's back.
Send them both deep.
I swear,
they're screwed. They're like, which guy do we cover? They're both fast and deep.
Was there one play that Bo Melton was back in there in receiver and ran a deep, just clear out route? I swear I saw him out there.
By the way, why don't we see Bo Melton at corner?
I don't know.
It can't hurt the way Keyshawn and freaking Hobbs play.
Yeah, Keyshawn had a rough game this last week.
Might as well throw freaking Bo Melton out there and see what happens. At least he'll catch a pass that's thrown his way and maybe get an interception.
That's the other thing we're talking about, or people were talking about, Packers got to get a veteran corner and all this sort of stuff. Jair Alexander traded to the Eagles. We hope that now he can ruin the Eagles. I feel better about the Packers. How does he fit in on the Eagles? How does he go to do the...
Good. They have Quentin Nelson and freaking Cooper DeJean already, don't they?
Yeah, I read this article. Kind of talking about, his time with the Ravens and how the only 2 games he played, he only played 61 snaps for them. And the only 2 games he played in were the 2 games they just got totally torched and looked terrible. And then when he wasn't in the games, they looked better.
Well, yeah, that's
Clearly, right?
clearly makes sense, yes.
But then also, I mean, I said it when they signed him, I was like, that's a really weird fit because it's a team that's built on a physical nature. Like we're the big bully team. Like we're a physical team. This guy is not physical at all. He doesn't match that at all. And if your corners and the Eagles are the exact same, it's a really weird.
It's a weird, yeah.
And not only that, he was a distraction. He ruined the locker room at times. He was causing a fight and a blowout. Like he's just an idiot, and he's not good at football, and he's not physical. Like So I hope he goes. I feel better about playing the Eagles now.
Yeah,
because I hope he kind of ruins them a little bit.
True, we have to play them yet, and he could be on the team. Oh, nice.
Emmanuel Wilson, go get him. Josh
Jacobs run right at him every time. You'll definitely break a tackle there, no doubt. If even Jai even tries to make it, he might just run the wrong way and turn around weird when he's getting blocked.
I don't even think he'll see the field, honestly, for them unless they have a bunch of injuries. But whatever. There was a couple of rumblings. Maybe it's wishful rumbling thinkings that the Packers are going to try to make this trade and get Rasul Douglas back, but I don't think Goody will do it.
No, he won't do it.
He's too proud. He's too dumb. Actually, I wonder if Rasul. I wonder if the Packers offered him a contract in the offseason, but like a garbage contract, and he was like, "No, you guys traded me away. You asshole GM traded me away," and then boasted about it like he got a bunch of good stuff for for me, getting rid of me, and how smart he was. And now you give me this garbage contract. You got to pay me more if you want me to come back. I would say that's totally justified if that's how it went down. I don't know if the Packers even offered him that. But Goody, if they want to win, he might have to swallow his stupid pride and make the move.
I don't think so.
Make the move.
Though I think he would fit in perfectly in Jeff Hafley's defense.
Yes, he would. He'd be great for it.
The Packers pass rush gets there fast now. Rasul would just sit back there and watch his eyes. He'd get so many picks, dude.
Yep.
Yep. It'd be awesome. He'd be
Here it is. We got too many receivers. The Dolphins like little guys who are supposed to be fast. How about Matthew Golden to the Dolphins for Rasul Douglas?
Trade Jaden Reed.
I know, but it's a receiver we're not going to use anyway. We just determined that. I don't
think Jaden Reed's going to be used either, to be quite honest.
I know, but he's still hurt. You can't trade him if he's hurt.
Right. You know what, Jaden Reed, who he takes catches away from? Tucker Kraft. When Jaden Reed comes back, that takes away throws to Tucker Kraft because Jordan Love will throw to Jaden Reed over Tucker Kraft because he's stupid.
He can't. He has to throw it. He has to throw it to Tucker Kraft.
He's dumb. He won't do it.
I
got to see it again. I can't.
Right.
One game is not enough for me to believe in.
Jordan Love. 2 games this year. It's 2 games, and he blew up 2 games,
and we won them both by a
I know.
So how about if we just keep throwing to Tucker Kraft? Hello, idiot.
Seems like football is not that hard to figure out sometimes. Last thing before we go, because I couldn't believe it when I saw this, and then I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I have to ask you, what we've talked about this before, but it's perplexing to me how the league is so enamored by edge rushers, how the edge rushers get paid so much. Like second, look at Micah Parsons, TJ Watt talked about how much money they make, second highest. Guys under some quarterbacks. Myles Garrett has 5 sacks in a game where his team got blown out.
Which makes no sense.
5 sacks is insane. Are you kidding me?
The other team should be running the ball on every play if they have a big blowout, and Myles Garrett is still getting all these sacks. It's crazy. I don't know. The guy is actually good.
I know. He's insane, and that's crazy production. But it just goes to the question of what is the value of a sack?
It's not that great.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what though? Hey,
so hold on.
Barry came in and destroyed a whole drive with a sack and a big play.
I know, but he had a TFL first and then he got a sack. So here's the thing. This is my thing for all these analytics, because there's numbers and analytics and this magical thing and concoction, whatever, all this stuff they talk about all the times, all these stats and all these things they look at. there should be, I don't know why I haven't seen this, but it should be separated out, which are DSS, drive stopping sacks. So they either happen on third down or they happen on a drive where the team is then done after that set of downs. I'll even get, if you do it on first down or second down, and then because of the sack, they can't convert, I'll even give it to you there. But I want to know how many drive stopping sacks you have, because that's a valuable sack. If you get a sack and then the next play or 2 plays later, they get a first down, well, that sack did you jack squat, didn't do anything except gave you a sack and give you a bunch more money as the edge rusher and going to get you a Pro Bowl and maybe, all pro and maybe defensive player of the year. If you got 19 sacks or 17 sacks or whatever it is, 1 sack a game. It blows me away. What is the value of a sack?
The other thing is just look at this last game. Rashawn Gary had 2 sacks.
I know.
And Micah Parsons had 1 sack. Yep. But Matt LaFleur gave Micah Parsons the defensive game ball, not Rashawn Gary. And then Micah Parsons gave the game ball to Rashawn Gary because he felt sorry for him.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's what happened. But which guy actually impacted the game more? The guy who got the game ball, because he impacted the game way more. But the one guy got 2 sacks. So everybody's like, oh, 2 sacks. Just like Jordan Love. So, oh, you had 300 some yards passing. You must be good. And no. Stats can tell you some things, but they can also lie.
Yeah.
And that's why you can always find a Skip Bayless out there back in the day who will find this little stat, and he'll find that one stat to back up his argument to make him look like he knows what he's talking about because he had 1 stat. Even though there's like 100 different ways to make that case against him to make him wrong. But when he has that 1 stat, you can't compete with the stat. It's legit. It's just facts. Rashawn Gary had 2 sacks. Micah Parsons had 1. Rashawn Gary must be better. And that's why people are dumb.
Is Rashawn Gary going to be an all-pro player this year?
If he keeps getting sacks because Micah Parsons is scaring the quarterback up to him, yeah. Micah Parsons might have 12 sacks. Rashawn Gary might have 19. And Rashawn Gary will make the Pro Bowl because he had 19 sacks. But probably 13 of them were because they were running away from Micah Parsons. Right to him. It's dumb. It's all dumb.
Anyway, that's my petition to all these stat keepers and analytics people. Give me a DSS stat. Give me a drive stopping sack. Those are the sacks I want to know. The other sacks are meaningless most of the time. If it didn't stop a drive, it isn't worth it.
They're not meaningless. It's just,
well, wait. If you get a first down after a sack, then what the hell was the sack? It doesn't matter.
Then I blame the defensive coordinator. Because here's the deal. If you get a sack and it's now 3rd and 15 and you give up a freaking first down, that's because you played wussy after that.
Maybe.
No, it is. Because if you stay aggressive, you put the pressure on the quarterback, he's got to get rid of the ball early. And if he gets rid of the ball early, there's no way they're going to get 3rd and 15. Now, if it's a wounded duck, he gets lucky like Jordan Love and chucks it up in the air and, just happens to fall right into Christian Watson's arms when the safety decides to run backwards instead of just running normal and then jump too early and then miss the ball. That's different. That's not the defense coordinator's fault. You got a really dumb safety and you got a lucky quarterback who threw to a guy who could barely catch and he actually caught the ball. That's totally different. But if you're aggressive and you attack and you play good defense after a sack and it's 3rd and 15, well, then you stop them. You should stop them. So I can't say all sacks are completely bad. It's just defensive coordinators have to realize when it's 3rd and 15. I always think it's funny when you watch plays and it's like, it's 3rd and 5 and where's the corner? He's at 6 yards. It's 3rd and 8 and where's the corner? He's at 9 yards. It's 3rd and 15 and where's the corner? He's at 16 yards. Why? Like, if you stopped him before when it was 1st and 10 and you were 3 yards off him or you played bump and run coverage, why on 3rd and 15 are you playing 16 yards off and letting him run free and do whatever he wants? I don't know. Get up there and disrupt him, which then disrupts the freaking offense and disrupts the play and the quarterback. Now that receiver is not where he's supposed to be. So if the quarterback throws they expect him to be there, he's not there. Or if the quarterback is waiting for him to get there, boom, another sack.
Mhm.
But instead, these defensive coordinators, they keep having these guys play back. They're like, oh, protect the freaking first down. But watch games. It's so stupid to watch and see these guys are like, it'll be 3rd and 8 in the pack. And I don't know, pack whatever, any team. The corner standing at the first down, giving the receiver 8 yards of cushion.
And
3rd
back
and 15
too.
Yeah, 3rd and 15. The guy's standing at the first down, giving him 15 yards of cushion. And it's 3rd and 2. Guess what? He's at the freaking 2, or he's 2 yards away. Wherever the first down marker is, that's where they're standing. And they're thinking, oh, we got to stop him from getting the first down. Well, you know how you can stop him getting the first down? Stop him from getting 2 yards. Then they won't get the first down on 3rd and 15 if you're up there 2 yards away from them and you disrupt them and you change it up, right?
Yeah.
It's dumb. All
Also
these
with-
teams are dumb. Everybody's dumb.
Also,
And
with all these teams that go for it on 4th down too, like you can't play that way anymore on 3rd down.
No.
You can't.
Because
You can't give up.
give up 13 yards to the Lions, and it's 4th and 2. Dan Campbell's going for it. Guess what?
Yep.
They're probably going to get it.
Yep.
You play against the Eagles, it's 4th and 2. They're going to freaking push, and they're probably going to get it. So stop playing off on 3rd and long.
Yeah.
Up and run, especially when you got Micah Parsons and Enigbari and Rashawn Gary and freaking Devontae Wyatt and LVN when he comes back, and Carl Brooks, and we got guys who can pass rush here on this team.
Yeah.
We got some guys. So why are we playing so wussy on the secondary on 3rd and long?
I don't know. That's why at least sometimes this game they didn't, but also maybe Aaron Rodgers helped him out a little bit too. I don't know.
Well, he got scared. We saw it. He got scared.
Yeah.
Mike Parsons.
JJ's saying, well, if Gary gets all the sacks, then maybe we can trade him for more. Maybe he'll have a higher trade value.
That's true. I'm just like Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark got a good value for him. Micah Parsons for Kenny Clark for 2 first-round picks.
That we were going to mishandle anyway and draft people.
Exactly. We were going to draft 2 guys, Jordan Morgan and Matthew Golden. We're going to play about 10 plays a game. So yippee skippy. We gave him 2 first-round picks and crappy Kenny Clark for a guy who's a difference maker. All for it. I heard something today. I was crazy. On the line committee guys, they were like, "Ooh, look at the Ram." They were talking about who if you could pick down, who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl?
Oh, okay.
And the one guy who was not a former player was like, I think it's going to be the Rams for the NFC. And the guys were like, oh. And then one of them was like, yeah, I heard if they do this one thing, if they trade away them trade the F and pick for Max Crosby, I'd be like, no, please no. We don't want the Rams to get Max Crosby. That would be terrible. They already have an awesome freaking pass rusher guy. They'd have 2 crazy awesome pass rusher guys, but they'll do it. They'll trade a first-round pick or 2.
That's true.
And then Max Crosby is way better than Micah Parsons. Just think if the Packers would have waited a little bit. And they could get Max Crosby because the Raiders stink. And Max Crosby is sick of being on a crappy team. I don't know.
It says they can't if they send Gary back. Look at how great he is.
That would be insane, though. Max Crosby is, because he is a difference maker.
Yeah.
He's better than Micah Parsons.
I mean, I will say this about Micah Parsons. The thing I've heard about him from like analyst guys too is that his technique is not great.
Oh, it's terrible.
But he's
He
relentless.
works his ass off. Yeah, he's freaking fast and works his ass off.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't give up on plays. He doesn't stop. He'll split double teams. He'll keep running around. If they push him deep, he'll keep pursuing. Like all that stuff is great. All that stuff is good.
They talk about his sack he had in the game, or he had to beat the line or running back or somebody or safety or I can't remember or tight end. He had to beat. I don't know. He had to go through 3 guys. He beat the tight end. Then he did a split between the left guard and the left tackle to get to the quarterback for the sack.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to go through 3 guys just to get a sack. Where Rashawn Gary just stands there and then Aaron Rodgers runs into him because Micah Parsons scared him. It's just it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I don't get it.
It's funny. Speaking of, now that the Ravens have cleared some of their garbage and won another game, and the Steelers lost to Joe Flacco and then lost to the Packers. Aaron Rodgers might not bring he might not bring that division title and playoff appearance for them.
Hey, we lost to Joe Flacco when he was on a worse team, so don't talk too much about Joe Flacco. Of course, we did beat him when he was on a better team, but that's sad.
Oh shoot! All right, well, tomorrow, I don't know a lot about the Panthers here. I haven't really thought about them much. I know they still go with this Bryce Young dude, and he's kind of he's okay.
And he was terrible, I guess.
Well, we'll take Andy Dalton if he's back.
So I think Bryce Young's back in this game.
But they're 4-4, so I mean they're okay. But
they have a good coach and they have
good
a team
running back.
that works hard. They got a running back who's like a monster who works really hard. They got their first round draft pick wide receiver who's just a big physical guy who catches everything and breaks tackles. And he's not like a speedster or anything, but he's just a good player who's like a possession receiver who's big and monstrous. So, that's all things that we have problems with, right? It'd be like going up against DK Metcalf again, except this guy actually has technique instead of just being a big monster.
Yeah.
This guy's not as fast as DK Metcalf, but he's got better hands and he's got better use of his body. So it's probably going to get torched again. So Keyshawn and frickin' Valentine and Hobbs, whoever else is going to be out there, is probably going to get targeted a bunch.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe the pass rush will scare their quarterbacks too. Probably not as much as Aaron Rodgers, but
well, if it's Young, we know we can't see over the line of scrimmage because he's so short, so that's good. Just like Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson can't.
Right. If we can get some inside pressure, that'd be helpful. So hopefully Wyatt's charged up and ready to go. Carl Brooks, I thought, and I know a lot of people have been talking about Colby Wooden a lot, right? And how much different he's been playing. He's bigger. He's been impactful. He's been pretty good on the run. But I thought Carl Brooks had a pretty nice game too. Here, he showed up a few times.
Well, Carl Brooks has always been a solid, good player. He's kind of like he's like an Isaiah McDuffie type guy. When he's out there, he's not going to screw it up. He might be physically unable to do the job against a superior player, right? But if he's out there to do a specific job, he's going to do that job the best of his ability and probably more often than not be successful because he's a good player. He's a football player.
That's crazy. The Packers like 4th and 5th round, and even sometimes 6th to 7th, 4th and down. Yeah. Like their picks are they're just good football players overall. Yeah. That's how the team stays good.
I mean, look at the starters right now. They got Evan Williams and Valentine, 4th and 7th round. You got McDuffie in the 5th round or 4th round, whatever he was. 6th. Carl Brooks and Colby Wooden were both 5th and 6th rounds. Mm-hmm. And those guys are playing a lot. And then Igbare. All those guys are key contributors to helping the defense make huge stops. And in addition to the fact that they have the third highest, obviously not the highest because the Steelers have the highest payroll on defense, but the Packers have the third highest payroll on defense in the league because of their guys like Kenny Clark. They're still paying half the contract too, and Mike Parsons and Jair still paying him on the salary cap, and freaking Sean Gary and Keyshawn and Hobbs, and that's even still with.
Forgot about X there, Ben. He's a lot higher paid.
That's right.
Than Keyshawn.
He's easy to forget about when he never makes a play because he never makes plays.
You see his run support tackling in this game.
It's really pathetic. He is honestly. I'm starting to wonder how Hafley can honestly go up there on all these press conferences and say how great he is and how he's the best player.
He has to. Like what else does he have back there? He knows Bullard can't play that. He knows.
Evan Williams can.
Well, yeah, but you only have one Evan Williams. You need Evan Williams to play Evan Williams' spot.
Yeah, but Xavier McKinney's not even doing anything.
Here's the one thing we know about Xavier McKinney. Okay,
he can't tackle.
He's smart.
He is smart,
and he's aware, and he can actually make plays on the ball. Okay, so those are all positive things.
You know what? I know another guy who can do all those same things. He used to wear number 29, who deserves to wear 29 on the pack, and was even better. And now he's on the fucking Dolphins, wasting away when he could be a Packer with his number back.
I don't disagree with you. I mean, I fully agree with you on that. But what I'm saying is,
probably should have played safety instead of corner. To be quite honest,
I know. Could have been probably all pro.
He would have been an all pro safety. I don't know why they wouldn't switch him. I would have switched him to safety.
Yeah. Okay. Well, but what I'm saying about Xavier McKinney, is that those things are true. I think he understands what's going on with the defense. I think he's smart. He's shown us he can make plays on the ball if given the opportunity. Now, his tackling, on the other hand, rough. Like, he is such a weak tackler and does not attack plays and then gets run over most of the time. Like, and that's a pretty important job as a safety. Let's be real. So there are some positives there. There's definitely a big, huge, glaring weakness. And so you can't say he's so great, but Jeff Hafley has no choice because what else is he going to do? They got nobody else to play there.
Oh yeah, that was his fault when he had Savage, and he had nobody.
Yeah.
And they went out and signed McKinney, and then they drafted freaking 2 guys, and now safety is one of their better positions. But, and I'm not saying McKinney's bad. I'm just saying it's my old problem I've always had. Not worth the money. And that's why I will always fight whenever somebody says Jordan Love's good. He's not worth the contract. He did not deserve that contract after 8 games of good quarterbacking. I don't understand it. When you can have a guy like Sam Darnold or Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield or name somebody else who's on a team that's halfway decent, who's only making $30 million a year compared to Jordan Love's 55 and playing just as good, if not better, and is a better leader. When you watch the in the locker room stuff, and Matt LaFleur has Jordan Love break it down at the end, and it's just
pretty flat.
It's flat. He has no ability to lead men. He doesn't have a leadership ability in him. He's a nice guy, and he's a good quarterback, but he's not a leader, and that's why Tucker Kraft had to take over and become the leader. That's why Josh Jacobs is like a leader, because those 2 guys have to do it, because Jordan Love can't do it. And on defense, who's the guy who's leading them? It's McKinney. He's like their voice. It's not Rashawn Gary, because he got neutered when they traded for Micah Parsons now, because he's the star.
Yeah.
But Micah Parsons just got here, so he can't take over and be the leader. So McKinney is now the leader, and he just got here last year. So our 2 biggest leaders, not counting Tucker Kraft, are 2 guys that Goody had to sign off the street last year.
Mm-hmm.
They're not drafted. They're not draft leaders either. It's
We're
a very
draft and
odd
develop team, man.
Yeah, draft. You can't develop stuff that's not there.
They do draft and develop players in the later rounds pretty well. It's just that they can't develop the ones in the early rounds.
Look at JJ McQuaid. Look at his last comment. I have a lot of songs.
Phil Douglas from Miami for a song. I've
written a bunch of songs. That's great. I got some songs to give him.
I mean, it would be awesome. I still think Goody will not. I'm not saying that. There's probably plenty of dudes that there's probably some people on the coaching staff that would be like, yeah, that would be a great move. There's probably some players that are played with Douglas that are still on the team that would be like, that would be a great move. But Goody he's got to swallow his pride to do it. He's shown that he's probably not going to do that. Speaking of Rasul Douglas, Ben, this is the last thing I thought of the other day, which was pretty interesting. Don't you think? Do you remember one of Rasul's biggest games the first season that he's on the Packers?
Which one? The Cardinals or?
It was the one where he had 2 interceptions. I think both returned for touchdowns that game, or maybe he was one.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that is what killed Baker Mayfield's time with the Browns? Do you think Baker Mayfield thanks Rasul Douglas now for that?
I doubt it.
He got him out of Cleveland, man.
Yeah, but
look at where he is now.
Speaking of
Baker Mayfield, you take these guys like that and you put them on a team that's not a piece of garbage, dysfunctional team, and look at how good they do. You just mentioned 3 of them: Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, freaking Baker Mayfield. Right? Look at where they are now. And Baker owes it all to Rasul Douglas. Well, and himself doing a lot of good work, but okay.
Did you ever watch? So there was a thing where Baker Mayfield in the offseason pretended to be like a fan and went on a tour of Tampa Bay's stadium with a bunch of fans.
No, I didn't see that.
It's kind of like when Eli Manning went and tried out to be a player for some college team or whatever, when he was just he wears Chad Powers or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's funny because Baker wears the fake mask and he's got a long hair and a mustache, and then he's like, "Oh, what do you guys think about Baker Mayfield?" And everybody's like, "Oh, Baker Mayfield's awesome. We're glad to have him," and all this. And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, I used to play quarterback. I think I could probably be as good as him." And, it's just hilarious. The reason why I bring it up is because right now Hulu has a show called Chad Powers.
Yeah, I saw that.
It is awful. Do not watch it.
Thank you.
It is. The only thing good about it is that Steve Zahn is in it, because Steve Zahn is awesome. I love Steve Zahn. He's funny.
Right. It's fair.
But otherwise, it is a terrible show.
They promoted the crap out of that too. Like what Glenn Powell or something is the.
I don't even know who that guy is, but
Yeah.
and now he's in everything. He's like in a bunch of like the Running Man movie coming up pretty soon. I heard he's trying to put him in the Marvel universe. All I know is this: the actual Chad Powers video with Eli Manning, way funnier and way better than the actual Chad Powers TV show that they put a bunch of money in to actually make a TV show.
Isn't this produced by isn't Eli Manning involved in the production of this?
I think but he doesn't write it or direct it or anything. He just was like, hey, it was probably his,
He should though. He should take charge of that. Probably way better than
he's the producer in the fact that he gave him money and he gave him the name and they took it. So he's probably making a bunch of money off of it. If they make money off of it, I don't know, but it's not like he's in it and like watching it and being like, oh yeah, they're good.
Hey Todd. Yeah, Jordan Love is not that engaging of a speaker, that's for sure. And he kind of says all the same stuff in general, but that's okay. He doesn't have to be. We got Tucker Kraft as a leader and a captain, so we don't need Jordan.
He's not a great interview either, though.
No, he's not. He's way too. He's super serious, but he's real,
boring, and he's not real.
He feels it, man. He feels it from his humble beginnings of freaking what is it, Turtle Lake. Freaking South Dakota or whatever it is.
Turtle Head, South Dakota. I don't want to hear
Turtle Head, South Dakota, 509 people. Like, it's crazy though, right? Isn't that insane that a dude from a town of 500 people who, yes, tore up the football 9-on-9 or 7-on-7, whenever he played in a little tiny town in South Dakota in that area, is in the NFL and dominates all these dudes. All these guys that went to freaking Alabama and Georgia and all the other big schools, and it's crazy town. Like you would never think that a dude from there would end up doing that to these guys. You just wouldn't think it.
We saw a guy do that back in the day. His name was freaking Jim Flanagan, and he freaking destroyed all of us and made us all look like idiots back in the day. And then he went to the NFL, and because he was super fast, they made him a defensive tackle when they should have kept him at running back or tight end. They would have been awesome.
No,
he would have been the same Tucker Kraft.
Notre Dame did that to him. They made him
I know, but it was dumb. He could have played running back just like Tucker Kraft.
Yeah,
he could have been like what's the guy with the Redskins? What was his name? John Riggins. He could have been like John Riggins.
Yeah.
Just a big freaking goofball who just runs over guys and doesn't give a crap. That's what freaking Jim Flanagan was like. But instead, he got stuck on the Bears playing D tackle. What a waste.
Got to be on the Packers for 1 year, but that was it.
Yeah, I know.
Mark Tauscher, did you hear this from Mark Tauscher that he said?
I don't. One time.
It was probably a while ago, but I just caught it today that he said that he was. So everybody knows Mark Tauscher, great Packer, one of their best tackles of all time. Mm-hmm. And he had to walk on for Wisconsin.
Yep.
And he actually said this in an interview or something he was doing, saying that he walked on and there was 140 guys on the team before like cuts and all this stuff. And they gave you all like sweatpants. They put a number on it. He was number 140. He was the last guy on the Badgers that time that he went. And he ended up being a starter and a great player for the Badgers. And then got drafted in the 7th round. Ended up starting for the Packers. Was a great freaking Packer. Those are the dudes you got to root for. And you got to love those stories when they happen. So Mark Tauscher, awesome. Tucker Kraft, yes, he was drafted in the 3rd round, but he's from a town of 500 people. So let's go.
Yeah.
Get him the ball and you win. Key to the game. Get Tucker Kraft the ball. Packers win, right? All done. Not hard. Not hard to get a victory if that's what you do.
It's pretty simple. I mean, I don't know. We're not rocket scientists or anything, but
you heard Matt LaFleur say it. I'd be crazy not to feature.
Once is not enough for me to trust him. He better do it this weekend, next week, and forever.
All right, let's hope he does. Enjoy the game tomorrow, everybody. Bro, take care of yourself. We'll catch you guys later. Nooner tomorrow, and then enjoy the game. Hopefully the Packers pull it off. Be good, everybody. Take care.